Draw a circle. Draw a circle like this. And after you draw your circle, you're going to put down where sign is positive. Sine of x equals 0. Now, 0 occurs in where? 0 occurs in the first quadrant. There's no angle, but sine is positive here and here. All right. So what are going to be the possible solutions? The possible solutions are going to be, first we need to find the equivalent angle in the first quadrant where sine is positive. So we find sine inverse of 0. When you find sine inverse of 0, that is going to give you 0. All right. But then over here, we know that the angle in the second quadrant is 180 minus the angle in the first quadrant. So this is 180 minus 0. So the two solutions we get is x equals 0. It's one possibility. Or x equals 180. All right. But they told us that they told us that x was supposed to be between 0 and 2 pi. So since x is between 0 and 2 pi, we can spin around the circle one more time. Spin around the circle one more time. So what that means is if you spin around the circle one more time, add 360 to 0, you get 360 degrees. So all the possible solutions are x is equal to x equals 0 or x equals pi. This is writing it in radians. X equals 0, x equals pi, or x equals 2 pi. These are the answers. Nice and easy, soft. These are the answers. Now what I'm going to do is give a verification of the answers to show you, look, x is 0, pi, and 2 pi. I'm going to give a verification of these answers. So this is an app known as Symbolab. We're going to put in the sign of 0. I guarantee we'll get 0. So the sign of 0, you work it out. It's loading. We're going to see 0. You can, of course, check it in your calculator. The sign of 0 is 0. There we go. Now, let's work out this. Now, the sign of pi. You're also going to get 0. Sine pi is also 0. Here it is, the sine of pi is also 0. So that shows that x equal pi is a solution. And sine 2 pi is also 0. There it is, sine 2 pi is also 0. So that verifies our answer that, of course, for this one right here, x can be 0, pi, or 2 pi. Let's write that down right here. So for the first one, x can be 0, x can be 0, x can be pi, and x can be 2 pi. That's for part A. Let's look at the next solution itself. Solve the cosine of x equal to a half. Solve cos x equal to a half. Solving cos x equal to a half. So this is part B. Part B, we're solving the cosine of x equal to a half. You can write half as 0.5. So if you're solving cos x equal to a half, I want you to draw your circle first and tick the quadrants where cosine is positive. So we know we have 4 quadrants. Where are the quadrants that cosine are positive? Cosine is positive here, and cosine is positive here. All right, always remember it's CAST. Cosine is positive here and here. To find the angle in the first quadrant, it is going to be cosine inverse. It's going to be cosine inverse of 0.5. And cosine inverse of 0.5, you put that in your calculator. Cos inverse of 0.5, I'm getting 60 degrees. 60 degrees, or if you're writing it in radians, it is pi by 3. All right. Now the corresponding angle in the fourth quadrant is going to be 2 pi minus pi by 3. Corresponding angle is 2 pi minus the angle in the first quadrant. So 2 pi minus pi by 3, we can rewrite this as, let's see, 6. That would be 6 over 3. So when you work out 2 pi minus pi by 3, you get 5 pi by 3. That's the two answers. So x is equal to pi by 3, or x is equal to 5 pi by 3. All right, those are the two answers. X is pi by 3, or x is 5 pi by 3. Of course, I'm going to verify to you that the cos of pi by 3 is a half, and the cos of 5 pi by 3 is a half. Let's do the verification. Here's the verification. The cos of pi by 3, cos of pi divided by 3, here it is, cos of pi by 3. We're going to get 0.5, or 1 over 2. There you go, 1 over 2. And the cos of 5 pi by 3, you're going to also get 1 over 2. There we go, a half. So we can clearly see that the two solutions are x equal to pi by 3 or 5 pi by 3. So for option B, it is pi by 3, comma 5 pi by 3. Those are the two solutions for part B. Now let's look at part C. Part C says to solve tan x equal to minus 1 over root 2. Tan x equal minus 1 over root 2. We're solving the tan of x, and it is equal to minus 1 over root 2. So if we're solving tan x equal minus 1 over root 2, first thing, we notice that this have a negative. So we're going to draw our circle and ask ourselves, where is tan negative? Tan is negative in the, always remember it is C-A-S-T. So cos it's positive here, everything positive here, sine positive here, tan positive here. So tan is negative here and here. Those are where tan is negative. But first, what we're going to do is find our angle in the first quadrant. Angle in the first quadrant is going to be tan inverse of, not minus 1 over root 2, ignore the minus sign, and it's going to be tan inverse of 1 over root 2. Work out tan inverse of 1 over root 2. Ignore the minus sign. Ignore the minus sign. So 1 divided by root 2, and we take tan inverse of that, and we're getting, you do that in radians, put your calculator in radians, so you get tan inverse of 1 divided by root 2, which is, put in your calculator in radians, you get 0.615. That's what you get. But remember, right here, this is what? This is the second quadrant. So that means x is going to be equal to, this is 180 or pi. So in the second quadrant, it is pi minus 0.615, or in the fourth quadrant, it is going to be 2 pi minus 0.165. 2 pi minus 0.165. So doing this now, what we end up getting is that x works out to be equal to pi minus this, pi minus 0.615. That works out to be 2.53. This is 2.53 radians. Remember, this is in radians. And the next answer we get is 2 pi minus 0.615, which is 5.67 radians, or x is equal to 5.67 radians. RAD stands for radians. Those are our answer. You might not want to believe it, so we're just going to show you. Let's go ahead. Remember, minus 1 over root 2, if you were to look at this as a fraction, that is negative 0.71. So I'm going to show you that the tan of 2.53 is negative 0.71, and that the tan of 5.67 is negative 0.71. Let's check it out. So we want the tan of 2.53. You're going to see that's negative 0.71. There it is, negative 0.701. All right. So we get what we were supposed to get. And you can also go a tan of 5.67, I think it was. You're going to get the same answer, negative 0.7. There it is. Same thing. So we're Gucci, we're nice. All right, moving right along. So these two gave us the possible answers for part C are x is equal to 2.53 radians. So x is equal to 2.53 radians, or x is equal to 5.67 radians. That's for this one right here. That's for part C. Let's look at part D. Solving the cosine of 2x equal minus 1 over root 2. Cos of 2x equal minus 1 over root 2. So we're solving the cos of 2x equal to minus 1 over root 2. Minus 1 over root 2. Now to do this question, what we're going to do is we're going to draw our circle. Join our circle and look where cos is negative. Again, this is C-A-S-T. Look where cos is negative. Cos is negative right here and right here. So first, we're going to find our principal acute angle in the first quadrant. And your principal acute angle is always cosine inverse of your value right here. Ignoring the negative sign, it's cosine inverse of 1 over root 2. Ignore the negative sign. Ignore the negative sign. So cos inverse of 1 over root 2 is cos inverse of 1 divided by root 2. That's pi by 4. So we are getting pi over 4 in radians. Since we get pi over 4, then that means the corresponding angles will now give us that 2x is equal. In this quadrant, the corresponding angle is 180 minus. So it's going to be pi minus pi by 4. This is pi minus pi by 4. Or the next possible answer is 2x equal. In the third quadrant, it is pi plus pi by 4. It is pi plus pi by 4. No good. Pi plus pi by 4. So what do we get now? What we're getting is, to simplify this, this is going to become, if pi minus pi by 4 is 3 pi over 4, And that, remember, is 2x. That is not x, and this is 2x. So we have to divide by 2 to get x is 3 pi by 8. X is 3 pi divided by 8. That's one possible answer. Over here now, we're getting that 2x is equal to, when we add them together, we get 5 pi by 4, 5 pi over 4. And so when we do our division and we divide out through by 2, we get x is 5 pi by 8. 5 pi by 8. So that's what we get. X is 3 pi by 8, or x is 5 pi by 8. Nice and easy and soft. X is 3 pi by 8 or 5 pi by 8. Just for verification of this formula, look at this. If we were to plug in the cos of 2 times 3 pi by 8, I guarantee you'd get minus 1 over root 2. And I guarantee you'd get minus 1 over root 2, by the way, as a decimal is minus 0.707, I believe. All right, so just going to verify this. When we plug in x as 3 pi by 8 and 5 pi by 8, you're going to see this is what we get. And this is the last time we're checking our answers just to show you they're right. So here it is. It is the cos of, in bracket, 2 times, it was what, 3 pi by 8? 3 pi over 8. The cos of 2 times that, work that out. I guarantee we shall get negative 0.7. There it is. We get negative root 2 over 2, which is negative 0.707, just like what we were getting. All right. And if we were to use 5 pi by 8, 2 times 5 pi by 8, we get the exact same answer. There it is, verifying our answer. So we know we're correct. Nice. We're absolutely nice. So over here, we're getting, write them down. For this one, we get x equal, what was that again? 3 pi by 8 or 5 pi by 8? 3 pi by 8 or 5 pi by 8? Let's look at part E. Part E, we want to find the sine of x minus pi by 4, and this is equal to a half. The sine of x minus pi by 4 equal to a half. So let's do that right here. We're solving the sine of x minus pi by 4. Sine of x minus pi by 4. And we're solving this equal to a half. Solve this equal to a half. So if we're solving this equal to a half, first thing I want you to do is draw your circle and tick where sine is positive. Sine is positive in which quadrant? Your first two quadrants. Sine is positive here and sine is positive here. So what do you do if sine is positive here and sine is positive here? You take sine inverse. So you work out sine inverse of a half. You work out sine inverse of a half. And when you work out sine inverse of a half, what are you going to get? Sine inverse of a half is pi by 6. Sine inverse of a half, we get pi by 6. So now that we get sine inverse of a half is pi by 6, that means that x minus pi by 4, because that's the angle we're trying to find. So x minus pi by 4 is equal to pi by 6. X minus pi by 4 is equal to pi by 6. Or another possible answer is x minus pi by 4 is pi by 6. Another possible answer is the answer in the second quadrant, which is x minus pi by 4. This is for the second quadrant answer. X minus pi by 4 is equal to pi minus pi by 6. Pi minus pi by 6. Now all we need to do is simplify or make x a subject. Making x a subject over here is going to be pi by 6 plus pi by 4. Pi by 6 plus pi by 4. Good. Pi by 6 plus pi by 4. That's what we do to make x the subject. Over here, make x the subject again. And so x is going to be equal to pi minus pi by 6 plus pi by 4. So we do that, and that will give us what x is. Beautiful. So go ahead and solve these. Solving these, what we're getting is x is equal to pi by 6 plus pi by 4. You can multiply up 4 up here, multiply 6 up here. That is 4 pi, 10 pi. This is 10 pi over 24. 10 pi over 24. Some people might want to simplify it and rewrite it just a little bit prettier. And divide this through by 2. That's 5 pi over 12. So this is one possible answer, 5 pi over 12. Or x can be equal to, now pi minus pi by 6, that is 5 pi by 6. Let's just work out the fractions here. 1 minus 1 over 6 plus 1 over 4. That is 13 pi by 12. This is 13 pi over 12. This is one possible answer, 13 pi over 12. That's how we do this question. 5 pi by 12, 13 pi by 12. Oh, good. 5 pi by 12 or 13 pi by 12. So part E, just gonna write E. The solutions for E is x equal to, what was x again? X was, I think it was, I can't remember. X was 5 pi by 12. Yeah, 5 pi by 12 or 13 pi by 12. 5 pi by 12 or 13 pi by 12. Let's finish off part F. Let's do part F right here. Since we have a little bit of space to do part F right here. Let's do part F right here. Part F says, find x for the cos of x plus pi by 3 is equal to root 3 over 2. So for part F, first thing I want you to do is take cos inverse of the value that is given. So we're going to find cos inverse of the value that is given. So we want to find cos inverse of root 3 over 2. Now cos inverse of root 3 over 2, I believe that is pi by 6. I believe this is pi by 6. I'm going to verify it with my calculator. Let me see. Cos inverse of root 3 over 2. Yes, it's pi by 6. So now that we get pi by 6, we draw our circle and look where cos is positive. Cos is positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. So that means that x plus pi by 3, x plus pi by 3, x plus pi by 3 is going to be equal to the angle that we get in the first quadrant, which is pi by 6, or another possible solution is x plus pi by 3 is equal to the angle in the fourth quadrant, and the corresponding angle in the fourth quadrant is 2 pi minus the angle in the first quadrant. So that's 2 pi minus your pi by 6. 2 pi minus pi by 6. Now, right here, all we need to do is subtract pi by 3 from both sides to get x is equal to pi by 6 minus pi by 3. Pi by 6 minus pi by 3. That's what we get. Comma. Right here now, we subtract pi by 3 from both sides to get x is equal to 2 pi. X is equal to 2 pi minus pi by 6 minus pi by 3. And so all you need to do is work these out now, put these in your calculator, simplify them, and these give you your answer. So let's working these out. Let's work these out. Pi by 6 minus pi by 3. Pi by 6 minus pi by 3. That is minus 1 over, that's minus pi by 6. This is minus pi by 6. But minus pi by 6, this one is not valid. This one is not valid. You might say, sir, why is this one not valid? Because they want the solution when x is between 0 and 2 pi, and this is less than 2 pi. Remember, x is supposed to be between 0 and 2 pi. So this one is not valid. So this one is not valid. So we only need to worry about this solution. Over here, what we're going to get is x equal, we work this out, 2 pi minus pi by 6 minus pi by 3. And you get 3 pi by 2. 3 pi by 2. That's the answer. 3 pi by 2. That takes care of part F. Nice and easy, soft. Part F, 3 pi by 2. Easy, soft. Part F answer, 3 pi by 2. That is that. So just to write it right here, x equal 3 pi by 2. So no troubles at all. These are so easy, soft. All right, nice.